On June 6, 1944, the world witnessed one of the most pivotal moments in history, the Allied invasion of Nazi-occupied France, known as D-Day. The Normandy landings were the largest seaborne invasion in history, involving over 156,000 troops, 13,000 aircraft, and 5,000 ships and landing craft. To put that into perspective, imagine the entire population of a city like Boston, Massachusetts, being transported onto the beaches of Normandy in a single day. This massive operation marked a turning point in World War II, and its success would ultimately lead to the liberation of Western Europe from the grip of Nazi Germany. As we examine the events leading up to D-Day, it's essential to understand the strategic context of the war at that time. In 1944, the Allies had been gaining momentum in North Africa and Italy, but the German army remained a formidable force, controlling most of Western Europe. The Soviet Union, meanwhile, was pushing the Germans back on the Eastern Front, but at great cost in lives and resources. The Allies knew that a direct assault on Nazi Germany's defenses was necessary to bring an end to the war, but the question was, where and how? The Allies had considered several options for invading France, including the Pas-de-Calais region and the port city of Cherbourg. However, after months of debate and planning, they decided on Normandy's beaches as the best location for the invasion. The region offered a relatively weak point in the German defenses, with fewer troops and fortifications compared to other parts of the coast. Additionally, the Allies had been conducting a series of deception operations, codenamed Operation Fortitude, aimed at convincing the Germans that the main invasion would take place at the Pas-de-Calais. This elaborate ruse would play a crucial role in the success of the Normandy landings. The Allied forces had been preparing for this moment for months, with troops training in England, Scotland, and the United States. The invasion force was a coalition of American, British, Canadian, and French troops, each with their own unique role to play in the operation. As we'll explore in the next section, the challenges facing the Allies on D-Day would be significant, but their careful planning, innovative tactics, and sheer determination would ultimately prove decisive. As the Allies prepared to launch the largest amphibious assault in history, they faced a daunting array of challenges that threatened to derail their carefully laid plans. The Germans, anticipating an invasion, had spent years fortifying the Normandy coast with a complex network of strongpoints, pillboxes, and artillery emplacements. The infamous Atlantic Wall, brainchild of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel, stretched for hundreds of miles, its defenses concentrated around key ports and beachheads. At Normandy, the Germans had constructed a particularly formidable series of strongpoints, including the infamous Widerstandsnest 62 at Omaha Beach, which would prove a bloody nemesis to American troops on D-Day. Additionally, the weather forecast for June 6 was far from ideal, with a low-pressure system brewing in the Atlantic that threatened to disrupt the invasion schedule. The Allies had a narrow window of opportunity, with the tide and moon phases aligning in their favor only for a brief period. If the invasion was delayed, the entire operation might be compromised, giving the Germans time to regroup and reinforce their defenses. As the Allies prepared to embark on their perilous journey, they knew that the next 24 hours would be the most crucial of the war, and that the fate of Western Europe hung precariously in the balance. To overcome these seemingly insurmountable obstacles, the Allies devised a meticulous plan, codenamed Operation Neptune, which would serve as the maritime component of the overall invasion strategy, Operation Overlord. The brainchild of Admiral Bertram Ramsay, Operation Neptune was a masterclass in logistical planning, involving the coordination of an armada of ships and landing craft, as well as a complex system of navigation and communication. The Allies divided their invasion force into 5 distinct beachheads, each assigned to a specific military unit: Utah Beach to the U.S. 4th Infantry Division, Omaha Beach to the U.S. 1st and 29th Infantry Divisions, Gold Beach to the British 50th Infantry Division, Juno Beach to the Canadian 3rd Infantry Division, and Sword Beach to the British 3rd Infantry Division. As the invasion force set sail from various ports in southern England, a sophisticated system of naval gunfire and air support was put in place to soften up the German defenses. A fleet of battleships, cruisers, and destroyers, including the USS Texas and the HMS Warspite, would provide a withering barrage of artillery fire, while waves of bombers and fighter bombers, including the B-17 Flying Fortress and the P-47 Thunderbolt, would pound the enemy's strongpoints and fortifications. Meanwhile, a fleet of minesweepers and landing craft would clear a path through the treacherous waters off Normandy, ensuring a safe passage for the troops and vehicles. In contrast to the Dieppe raid, where the Allies suffered heavy casualties due to inadequate naval gunfire support and poor intelligence, the D-Day landings benefited from a comprehensive naval bombardment and extensive intelligence gathering. As we reflect on the D-Day landings, it's essential to recognize the profound impact they had on the men who fought, the nations that participated, and the world that was forever changed. The bravery and sacrifice of the Allied forces on that fateful day serve as a poignant reminder of the human cost of war and the importance of preserving peace. The D-Day landings were a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit, as ordinary men were called upon to perform extraordinary acts of courage in the face of overwhelming danger. The success of the D-Day landings was not solely due to the bravery of the individual soldiers, but also the result of meticulous planning, innovative tactics, and the coordinated effort of multiple nations working towards a common goal. As we analyze the events of D-Day, it's clear that the lessons learned on those blood-soaked beaches are still relevant today, serving as a powerful reminder of the importance of coalition building, strategic planning, and the need for continued innovation in modern warfare. As we honor the memory of those who fought and died on D-Day, we must also acknowledge the profound impact that their sacrifice had on the course of history. The D-Day landings marked a major turning point in the war, paving the way for the Allied victory and shaping the modern world as we know it today. As we reflect on the significance of this pivotal event, we are reminded of the enduring power of courage, sacrifice, and the unwavering commitment to freedom and democracy. The legacy of D-Day serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, and that the bravery and determination of a few can change the course of history forever.